this airfield will be one of the highest airfields in the world at 14,000 plus. But the present government of the day has changed this thinking. In last 2 years, our budget has been increased by 100%, which has never been done. If you take the overall perspective and the pace of work, we are much ahead of China. In Ladakh, 70% of our work is above 14,000 feet. 14,000 feet means the oxygen level comes down to 50 to 60%. In fact, today, that is the highest road in the world where any country's flag flies, and India can be very, very proud of flying a flag constantly all along on such a high place, and it is a thing of pride for all the citizens of the nation. We are going to go much ahead very soon and breaking this our own record. Tunnels are going to be the future of connectivity. Sela Tunnel, when completed, it will be the highest twin tube tunnel in the world. B.R.O is really brought to the nation, and we will live up to this expectation.
Hi, you're watching Hindustan Times podcast, and I'm Aditi Prasad. Today we have with us Lieutenant General Rajeev Chaudhry, Director General of the Border Roads Organization, the man in charge of India's infrastructure push along the border areas where a belligerent China is breathing down India's neck. Now, a lot has been spoken about China's infrastructure blitz on their side of the border. Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to talk to you about India's mega infrastructure counter to this Chinese build-up. Now, there's a lot of buzz, sir. Let me just dive right in. Around two main projects in Ladakh near the LAC. One is the Chushul-Dungti-Fukeche-Demchok road. The other being the highest airfield at Nyoma, which is one of the highest in the world. Can you talk to us about these two projects and how they are significant in the entire scheme of things as far as countering China's build-up is concerned?
That's a good question. And firstly, I'll talk about CDFD road. What we call is Chushul-Dungti-Fukeche-Demchok road. This road is running parallel to LAC, approximately 15 kilometers or so south of it. And this will be used to switch forces if required in any critical situation all along the LAC. And this road has already been started on 26th January this year. And we intend to complete this road in 2 working seasons, which is a very less time for us, because in a working season, we get only 6 months of window to do our job. And we will be going through the winters also this time, because this is critically very important and strategically also very, very essential for us, our security forces. Second project, what you talked about is Nyoma Airfield. Nyoma Airfield, as we look at the location, is only 30 kilometers as the crow flies from LAC. And this airfield will be very, very important and useful for taking our strategic troops for any case of critical situation when we have to deploy them ahead. And this airfield will be one of the highest airfields in the world at 14,000 plus. So this is again an important project what B.R.O is undertaking very soon. And as we talk today, in a week or so, we will be concluding the contract. And this also we intend to finish in 2 working seasons.
Okay, now 2 working seasons, matlab...
2 working seasons means in Ladakh, we get a window from May to October maximum, because thereafter, because of the low temperatures and the conditions are such that we can't do concrete work. So we get, in a sense, only 1 year to do. But working season means next year we want to complete both these projects together.
You said both these projects are strategically important. Let me come to the Chushul-Dungti-Fukeche-Demchok road. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yes.
But you said the work on this road has started in January this year.
Yes.
When can we see it completed, and how is it? What is the strategic importance of this road?
This is, as I told you, just runs along LAC, and on one side there's the Indus River. So this road is essential for taking our troops from Chushul to Demchok, which is again a flashpoint towards us. So in this road, when this road comes up, we can switch our forces very, very fast. And to do these projects fastest, we have also shifted one of our task forces at Hanle. Hanle is just next to Dungti. and it is at approximately 15,000 feet. So the task force at Hanle will be looking after this road project to complete it in an accelerated manner. And to tell you something more about this task force is going to be an all-women task force, where the task force commander, first time in the history of B.R.O, is a woman officer, Colonel Doming, who is the also first woman officer as a colonel from Arunachal Pradesh, and she's a very motivated and dedicated officer. And under her, 2IC, that is Vishali Hivase, and 3IC also is going to be a woman officer. And their functionaries on the ground, that is platoon commanders, are also going to be women officers. So this is a very bold experiment what B.R.O has undertaking in such conditions of terrain and weather harshness. We are putting a all-women task force at this place to make this strategic road and other infrastructure projects also.
Okay, is this the first time that you're deploying a all-women task force in that high an altitude? Have you deployed a women task force anywhere else in the country?
No, this is...
So why the experiment in Ladakh?
Now, why the experiment in Ladakh? Because Ladakh is also in our focus, and we needed a very, very dedicated team, new team. And I thought, why not put women? Because all along we have been questioning their abilities. So why not put them in the most challenging situation? Means they can be put in an easy situation where they will succeed. But we wanted to prove that women are no less than men. And I have been a propagator of gender-neutral approach to the women. Last year, we put all women RCC in People Koti under Major Aina, who is also doing very well. She looks after from People Koti till Mana Pass. And that itself is again a very challenging project. Mana Pass is the second highest pass in the country after Umling. So they have succeeded, and all the platoon commanders also were women. So I thought, let's take this initiative or decision slightly more ahead. So task force is a level above RCC, Road Construction Company. And we decided that it should be at the most toughest condition. Hanle itself is 15,000 feet. Today, none of our task force is higher than 15,000 feet. So we put this task force under Colonel Doming at Hanle, and all her functionaries also women officers.
That's so wonderful to hear, especially sitting here as a woman talking to you. It just feels very heartening that at least, you're thinking of putting, and you're right, giving them just any other job, they'd be able to do, but putting them in such tough conditions. And the results so far, because you said that you put the task force, when did you put the task force there?
On 4th June, means just today is 8th, so 4 days.
Just 4 days.
4 days before she has taken over.
Okay.
And this is functional now. And as I feel, women are more dedicated, sincere and honest. Maybe this is my way of thinking, and she is going to be doing a good job there.
So not just your way of thinking, my way of thinking too. So great. That's wonderful to hear. I want you to talk to us about the Nyoma airfield also. How is this airfield, which is going to be coming up in Ladakh, highest airfield, why is it crucial in terms of China's build-up? And what role has it got to play? What are we hoping for?
You see, when war breaks out, there will be a number of airfields from which we can put our troops ahead, or our machines or armament ahead. In such a situation, some of the airfields can be taken off, and damage can be caused by the enemy to make them non-functional for a time. So we have to have multiple airfields where we can put our troops as much as ahead possible. So Nyoma was an alternative, which is the closest, as crow flies, I told you, 30 kilometers from LAC. So this decision was taken by the government this year only, in the month of February, and the sanction was made. And as I told, the work should start sometime in next month, July, and we'll finish it in 2 working seasons.
We keep reading and hearing a lot about, and the satellite images which keep getting leaked from time to time about China's build-up of infrastructure on its side of the border. They started before us. They must be ahead. That's understood. But how are we competing with them?
You see, there are 2 points to this. when we say, as you said, that China started much earlier than us. That is number one, and that is a taken fact. You can't deny that. We always had a different philosophy or attitude to the infrastructure development on all along the borders, that we should be defensive and we should not be making too much of infrastructure on the borders which can be used against us. But the present government of the day has changed this thinking, and today they are putting a lot of focus on the northern border infrastructure development. Just to make it very clear, in last 2 years, our budget has been increased by 100%, which has never been done. I mean, budget increases every year by at a rate of maybe 10 to 12 or max 15%. But increasing the budget by 100%, and most of this budget is being utilized in making infrastructure all along the northern borders. Just to give you some facts about this, in last 2 years, we have constructed 205 projects which have been dedicated to the nation by Honorable Raksha Mantri ji in different places. And out of this, 87 bridges in the first year and 67 bridges in the next year. And number of roads and tunnels have been made, which costed us approximately 5,200 crores. This year itself, we are planning to make 176 projects with a cost of 6,200 crores. So it is going to be more than the total of 2 years. So you can understand the pace of work, what is happening on the borders. And the second thing what I wanted to tell you is that for China, it is easier to make infrastructure because it is a plateau. But in our case, we have to climb the Himalayan ranges and make access on the LAC, which is tougher. And secondly, because Himalayan mountains are very young mountains, they are fragile. So it takes more effort to take the roads and bridges ahead because of the terrain and of course the weather conditions. But if you take the overall perspective and the pace of work, we are much ahead of China. Government is really giving us a lot of support in terms of machines, in terms of policies, processes have been relaxed, and more budget is being allocated for development of China's northern borders.
You said 100% increase in budget in the last 2 years. So it's obviously a phenomenon which is post-Galwan. Before that, were we also looking at infrastructure build-up along the border, or did Galwan shake us into or give us a wake-up call?
You can say yes or no to this question. The budget has been increasing since the present government took over the country's reins in 2014. But it was a static increase at a range of maybe 15 to 18% increase per year. But post Galwan, the budget has been increasing at a higher level, that is 40 to 45%. And as I told you, from 2020 to 21 and 22, the increase has been phenomenal. And this year we have got a budget of 5,000 crores just for the army roads. And next year maybe more. And we are going to spend more and more money. This year we spent 12,000 crores, 12,340 to be more precise. And next year my aim or my target is to spend approximately 16,000 crores. So every year we are taking a jump of 4 to 5,000 crores in making the infrastructure on the northern borders.
So what I understand from you, what I've heard from you, sir, is that while China is definitely ahead in terms of border infrastructure build up on their side, we are also catching up and catching up fast to their level. Tell us about the dual-use model villages that China is building on its side of the border, where for our viewers, the dual-use villages are where China is sort of developing these villages, not arming the villagers, so to speak, but giving them all kinds of facilities and preparing them as the first point of defense against the border, against any border incursion from either side. So what is India's counter to that, sir? What are we doing in order to counter this dual-use village development?
In Arunachal Pradesh, government has announced Arunachal Frontier Highway, which will be connecting all the first villages all along the LAC, which will act as again a means to switch our forces from a point to another point as the situation demands. That is one. Second thing is government has already announced phase 1 of Vibrant Village package that consists of 662 villages, and out of that 441 will be coming in Arunachal Pradesh. Honorable Home Minister went himself to first village at Kibitu, that is the easternmost post of on Indian side, to announce this package on 10th April. So the intent is very clear, and we are going to develop especially Arunachal and all along the northern border, all these villages which have been facing migration. The population has been coming down in search of better opportunities. But as this package progresses, there is going to be a reverse migration, and the first initiative has already been taken by Border Road organization by connecting Huri village. Huri village, since independence, was air maintained. Those people used to be getting all their vegetables, grains, medicines through helicopter every week. Or
This is in Arunachal only.
this is in Arunachal,
Okay.
in Subansiri Valley. That was a situation on our side. Since we didn't really take care of our infrastructure all along the border. And last year, we made a bridge. And this village was not connected to its Tehsil Dhamin and the district Kume.
Okay.
That was the situation. It was not connected at all with any other population. In search of opportunities, good opportunities, the young generation came down to bigger towns and villages. So out of 200 people, there were only 49 left there when we made the bridge.
Oh my God.
And last year we made a road till Huri, 168 kilometers. And the population today, as we speak, has increased to 300. There is a small village school has come up, and primary health center has come up. Last year I visited these people, and I talked to the old people. In fact, how this road has made a difference in your life. So what he told me was that all along his life, he's maybe 70-year-old gentleman, all along his life he saw helicopters, but he never saw a vehicle.
Okay.
So today when this road is made, there are vehicles coming, and in fact we are progressing ahead. There's a place known as Tapa ahead of Huri, where we have started the construction of the road. So these roads, when they are made, they will really not only change the security metrics of the security forces, but also make a lot of difference in the lives of the people who stay there. They were not getting any central government scheme because there's no communication. There's no communication tower there. There are no means of taking the state facilities to them. So once this same situation was in Demchok, when last year we made the highest road in the world from Chushul to Demchok, 52 kilometers long. I went there and met their people, and I asked them how this road has made a difference in your life. So again, the village headman told me that when this road was not there, they used to come down to Hanle for any medical emergencies. Out of 10 women who were in the family way, 6 used to die en route because the journey was very treacherous. They used to be on horseback, take 3.5 days to reach Hanle. Today, they take 3.5 hours. So that is the difference in their life. We can't really imagine how happy they are. They are getting all the central government schemes today. The communication towers are reaching them. As I say, the road is the backbone of all the development. When the road goes there, the communication goes there, the electricity goes there, the tourism goes there, the medical goes there, the education goes there, aviation goes, everything goes on the road. So till the time there's the road is not there, nothing moves. So that is the difference in the far-flung areas, the remote villages, the Border Road organization is making. And when these vibrant villages, in fact, in the Vibrant Village program also, it is costing approximately 4,800 crores. Out of that, 2,500 crores is allocated only for the development of the roads, because connectivity is very essential. When we are making this village, it is not only developing a village, it is also connecting it
to the mainland. Right.
Yes. Most of these villages which exist in Arunachal especially, or even Uttarakhand and some places, they are not connected to any administrative center. So that was wherever border road was there, they used to think we are the government. They used to come for their small problems also to us. Like we generally wear the same color of the uniform, khaki. So we are police, we are government, we are everything.
Everything for them.
So, but then situation today is changing very fast. We have also joined Shastri Nagar to Indra Point. Indra Point is the southernmost tip of the country at 8-degree channel in Camel Bay, where the tribal people were not connected to the main stream. So when we made a road from Shastri Nagar to Lakshmi Nagar and joined it to Indra Point, the people were very happy. And now they can go to bigger places for their daily or routine requirements, medical emergencies. So life changes when the road goes to such places. We are not really, feel how can life change with the road, especially in this.
No, but I'm sure you're making a lot of difference. But tell me, sir, also when you went to these far-flung villages, because they are situated in border areas and border areas are joining China. So there's also the fear that the Chinese are trying to make inroads through these villages into our country. And strengthening these villages and making them part of the mainstream secures our border defense in that way. When you went to these villages, and were there any instances or experiences that these villagers shared about Chinese wanting to sort of get inside and trying to sort of build some sort of rapport over there?
No, I think that is a false narrative which has been always believed or spread in the past. Those people are as Indian as we are, and their thinking is in fact more nationalistic than what we think they would be having. Wherever we make roads like TCC, Tapsing, Galemo, Maza, Geling, Lamang, these places are the farthest or the first villages in Arunachal side, and Mana village is the first village in Uttarakhand, Jonglingpong, where Honorable Prime Minister also went there on 22nd October 22 last year. In fact, he stayed in one of the smallest detachment of border road organization.
Okay.
He had different options, but he said, no, I have come to inaugurate or do the Shilanyas for major roads of border road. So he decided to stay with us. That was a major morale booster for border road organization. So these villages are really the people who are there. They are more they have got the same sentiments and feelings what we have got.
No, I'm not talking about their
Or they don't.
Because China would obviously want to take advantage of the fact. Maybe do they feel threatened in any way by Chinese presence along the?
No,
not at all.
not at all.
Okay, so you've talked about all these various infrastructure projects that you're undertaking on the northern borders. And forget the altitude, the fact that these are remote. You said not even connected. Basic medical supplies, basic food. I mean, when your people are constructing there, when you're doing that, there must be 1,000 challenges, because in those temperatures, the treacherous terrain, which is on our side of the border, combined along with non-availability of basic essentials along those roads. What are the challenges that you and your team face?
Firstly, the weather and the terrain. These are the two biggest challenges, because when we talk about these challenges in Ladakh, 70% of our work is above 14,000 feet. 14,000 feet means the oxygen level comes down to 50 to 60%. So it is, even for normal existence, you face difficulties in breathing. When we have to do strenuous work like making a road, making a bridge, it requires more strength, physical strength, and of course the strength of the spirit and the motivation of the team. So that is a challenge what we have been overcoming by going on ground. I go and meet these people, understand their issues, problems, and we give immediate solutions. We have put a lot of centrally heated shelters. We have given them winter gear while they work, and other medical facilities, their entertainment and issues with their families. So we have made their wages double. So there is an incentive, and there is a care, there's a feeling of connect. In fact, I call them Karam Yogis, because they are my people. Earlier that concept was not there, but I thought these are the people who are doing the hardest work, what we do when we make a road. So they are as much part of me as my cadre, the four cadre is there. So that is number one. And when we talk about the people who stay there, like I'll talk about Gunji Kuti Jolingkong. There is a Rang community. It is in the Uttarakhand, Kumaon region. These people used to come down during winters to Tanakpur and plains because they can't exist. There's no food, there's no facility, medical, and any other opportunity for the business. But last two winters, they have been staying there because we have made a road till Jolingkong. Jolingkong is a place at 15,000 feet where people actually, Shraddhalus go there for darshan of Adi Kailash. Since the due to COVID, Kailash Mansarovar Yatra has been stopped. But people who have got faith in the God Almighty or Shiva as we call, so they go to Jolingkong. And there is a lot of eagerness to go there. And since we have made the road now, so the people who are there, they stay through the winters, and we also support them with some kind of supplies or maybe what they want, like village like Laspa on the same axis. We have been supporting all these people, and they also in turn integrate with us very nicely because they are the core help when we talk about the CPL. So the casually paid laborers come from these places,
Okay.
and we make roads.
Okay, in the same breath, let's also talk to me about the Umling Pass because that is one of your crowning glories of the B.R.O. At 19,024 feet is the highest motorable road, so to speak. What were the challenges that you faced during the construction of that particular road?
There were two major challenges. First was, of course, physical challenge. To go there and first breathe there and work there. Umlingla at 19,024 feet is higher than both the base camps of Mount Everest. Umlingla is higher than Siachen Glacier.
My God.
Siachen Glacier is at 17,700 feet. This is at 19,000 feet. And both the base camps are lower than 17,000 feet.
Wow. Okay.
On Tibet side and Nepal. So, and our people are not mountaineers. They're not trained in mountaineering or maybe sustained in such places. But it is all sheer willpower and, of course, the leadership at the cutting edge. My OC, RCC, and of course, my task force commander, my chief engineer, they keep be there when the work is going on. Second thing, of course, related to the physical challenge was the oxygen level at Umlingla used to drop down to 50% or 45%.
Okay.
The atmospheric pressure is 0.45 bar. That is again 45% of maybe plains like Delhi or wherever we live. And sustaining yourself and doing a hard task like making a road, it requires a lot of going against the nature. You used to bleed through the nose, you will feel nauseatic feeling, hypo, and other physical ailments can also come there when you work there. And the machines also. At this level, machines also perform 50 to 60% because oxygen for the combustion is less for making machines run. Technically, making a road there is again a difficult task because due to the heave is caused because of when the water recedes into the subsoil, and during winters it crystallizes and pushes the road upwards. It damages the road surface. So we put a non-frost sub-base layer, special layer, to prevent that kind of a phenomena occurring in that road. That is the first time in India what we have done. So both ways, physical and technically, we have overcome all the challenges, and this is not where we are stopping. In fact, today that is the highest road in the world where any country's flag flies, and India can be very, very proud of flying a flag constantly all along on such a high place, and it is a thing of pride for all the citizens of the nation. We are going to go much ahead very soon and breaking this our own record that I'll tell you later sometime.
No, why not now? Tell us about your... So you're not going to stop at this record that you've made with Umlingla.
We are planning a road at 19,400 feet. So let that planning be over and it will soon be a reality. We can be more proud of that feat.
Our flag flying at the highest point anywhere in the world. But thank you so much for telling us that. But let me just, come back to, in a sense of continuity. in the pace of infrastructure development in border areas. Do you believe, you've said that the Modi government has shown more urgency on the issue in terms of budget allocation, but also in March this year, there was a panel that was formed to sort of push infrastructure projects along the LAC. How far do have these decisions like these? How far do you think they're going to do away with the bureaucratic red tape that you probably have to deal with whenever you're trying to push through any new project?
This interministerial committee met in March, and they took stock of things, especially on the northern borders, infrastructure issues, and they have decided to meet they have made committees which will be meeting every 3 months and taking stock of things. The biggest impediment was land acquisition time and forest clearances, and of course wildlife clearances, which the present government has made many changes in the processes. And also in this monsoon season, session, government is going to table the forest conservation bill also,
Okay.
which will facilitate hugely the clearances of forest and WLC or wildlife clearances related issues, which will accelerate our work, because these processes to take nothing less than 2 or 3 years also at times, or maybe more at some places. So this will be hastened up, and land acquisition issues also are constantly being monitored by government. And Honorable Raksha Mantri ji is taking stock of these things, and he is very, very fast in taking decisions on these issues and facilitating the sanctioning of these projects, which used to take a lot of time earlier, and that used to delay the road. That used to also escalate the cost of the road,
Right.
because every year there is an escalation factor which is there by the Commerce Ministry, maybe 7 to 8%, and gradually the road cost, which was there X or maybe 100, used to be in 3 4 years or 5 years used to be 150 or maybe more than that. So all these decisions are going to be hugely advantageous to border road organization in making this infrastructure on the borders.
Fantastic. Let me just, okay, we've talked about Ladakh and the northern borders. Apart from the roads and the infrastructure development that you're doing and sort of connecting these villages at the far-flung border areas to the mainstream, there are also lots of tunnels that you've been building. Tell us about the tunnel works that you want to take in border areas, and are there any critical tunnels that have been planned out for the future or that have just been completed, and what kind of a strategic role do these tunnels play in the overall security situation in the border areas?
You see, on 3rd October 2020, Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated Atal Tunnel.
Atal Tunnel.
That is 9.02 kilometer long at a height of 10,000 feet. At that height, this is the longest tunnel in the world. So that was placing India on the tunnel map. Earlier tunnels, when we talk about tunnels, we talked about Alps. And Alps are the mountains which are 15,000 feet high. Right? And the highest peak there, Mount Blanc, is 15,700. But we are talking today much above these heights. Today, when I'm talking to you, in last 60 years, when Atal Tunnel was inaugurated, Border Road Organization has made only 3 tunnels.
Oh.
Right? Today, we are working on 12 tunnels. Just in a span of 2 years, we have accelerated the tunneling work, because tunnels are going to be the future of connectivity. Tunnels are the only means to do the inter-valley connectivity. In most of the places in the front areas, we have to come down the valley and again enter the valley from the lower regions. But we are connecting all the valleys, especially in the Arunachal and Ladakh, through the tunnels. And in these 12 tunnels, we have already completed one Chamba tunnel, Nichipu tunnel, and maybe by end of this month or first week of July, we'll also complete Sela tunnel. Sela tunnel, when completed, it will be the highest twin tube tunnel in the world at 13,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
Right? And in this year itself, government has announced a tunnel at Shinkunla. Shinkunla is a pass connecting Janskar in Ladakh to Lahaul Spiti in Himachal Pradesh. You see, this is strategically very important because this will be the shortest connectivity to Leh from Manali
For the troops too.
for the troops as well as for tourism, because Janskar, this will connect 36 villages of Janskar region to 137 villages of Lahaul Spiti. It is going to be a game changer for the development of these two regions which have been neglected all along. And Shinkulla is coming at 15,855 feet. Shinkulla Pass is at 16,700 feet, but the tunnel will be placed at this height, which is going to be the highest tunnel in the world in all aspects. Today, Mila Tunnel in China is the highest at 15,500 feet. This will be at 15,855 feet. So you see the jump, what we are taking in tunneling. Today, world is coming to India. World is looking very keenly for transportation tunnels to India. We are the front runners. We are the pioneers in making tunnels at high altitude areas. And maybe next year, the planning is going on at Kela. Kela is at 18,000 feet in Ladakh. 18,000 feet. We are going to make a tunnel of 8 kilometers. Maybe the work should start next year as a very positive thing, or maybe next to next year. So this is the future of tunnels.
And the Skela tunnel is connecting, and how will it
Be connecting.
helping? Again, I am talking
Yeah.
first. You, of course, is going to help in tourism and connectivity, but in terms of for the army and for our security purposes, strategic importance. What will be the strategic importance?
Kela will be parallel to Changla. Changla connects the Leh to Pangong Tso region. You would have heard it came in news for various reasons. So if we make Kela, then it will be all-weather connectivity to that region. Not only from the security angle, but also from the tourism and giving connectivity to the local population is making it's increasing the happiness index. When the Atal Tunnel came, the Lahaul Spiti was the biggest gainer for Atal Tunnel, because all the tourism used to stop at Rohtang, on this side of Rohtang in Manali. But today, when the Atal Tunnel has been made, there is a 600% jump of tourists going to Lahaul Spiti. They had never seen such beautiful places which were there, especially during the winters.
Right.
Atal Tunnel is open through the winters. So people are going ahead. When Shinkula is made, people will be going to Janskar. Janskar has got a huge tourism potential. They are going to have winter games. They are going to be developing maybe Padam as airfield and bringing people to Janskar. So all these things, when we make roads, bridges, tunnels, they are connecting people and connecting the security forces. So it is doing everything. As I told, the infrastructure is the backbone of all the development.
Absolutely. We've talked about northern altitudes. I just want to go down south. You recently constructed a road at Andaman and Nicobar also. How important is that?
It is very important because we have been looking at northern borders, but our Campbell Bay, that is the southernmost island in the chain of Andaman, is very strategically very important, because a lot of trade happens south of it, and there has been presence of adversary vessels. So we need to have a presence there.
In Chinese vessels.
Yes. So to be alert and aware of all these developments happening around you, there was a need to connect the southernmost tip, that is Indra Point, to the main stream from Shastrinagar. So that road is also very, very important strategically, and there is going to be a major transshipment port going to come up, which has been announced by the government. That will be, of course, taking time. But then development is going to happen in Camel Bay, and for that, connectivity has to start now.
Right. You know, it's not just within India, though, that the Border Roads Organization is active. You're also doing a lot of things in neighboring countries. You built a road in Afghanistan recently. Talk to us about the B.R.O's initiatives in our neighboring countries.
Our first project, two projects were raised when Border Road Organization came into being in Jammu and Kashmir and eastern part, that is Beacon and Vartak. for development of infrastructure in these two regions. Next year, we had a project started in Bhutan, Project Dantak, in 1961. So we started as a good neighbor to Bhutan infrastructure development through Project Dantak. And then we made a road in Myanmar from More to Kalewa. And then, of course, we made a road in Afghanistan during the most disturbed period from Delaram to Zarang, which is still existing, and there has not been any maintenance. That is the best road, 216 kilometers.
When was this constructed?
That was in 2007.
Okay.
So we have been working in friendly foreign countries, and we also made a road in Tajikistan.
Okay.
So we have got a potential to connect sub-regional connectivity all around us, and we are a very potent tool for the nation to increase the footprint in these countries.
So, what I'm curious about as an outsider, as a person who doesn't, why would they come? Why would they come to B.R.O. to construct these, or is it a Government of India initiative to sort of help out our neighbors?
Yes, because this is a diplomatic initiative, and we are part of that policy, comprehensive national policy, that we must help our neighbors where development is not there. And when the nation-to-nation understanding is there, we go there on their calling or as decided by the Government of India. So we have been doing this kind of work in past.
Okay. And any works that are coming your way in outside countries in the near future?
There are some projects which once crystallized and finalized, maybe
okay,
we'll be able to tell you.
It's absolutely.
But something is happening.
So clearly, B.R.O. is the BRO, as many of you call it, not only to the armed forces BRO, but also to the people of India and sometimes even to people of friendly countries. It's a huge responsibility, clearly. And what, how, within B.R.O, what is the sense of contribution that people who are with B.R.O have?
No, I must tell you about the story about this BRO, Nations BRO, as you told. On 3rd January this year, Honorable Raksha Mantri went to Siam to inaugurate that bridge. That is the first steel arch bridge what B.R.O has made on Siam River, 100-meter span. And from there, he dedicated 28 projects to the nation.
Right.
So there, when he was connecting with the people of that place, he mentioned that when he was young, he used to read this B.R.O and he didn't know what is the full form of B.R.O. So he used to read it as bro. And later on, when he grew up and he found this is a slang for brother. So he said in a lighter vein, and it really, as you said, it increases the expectations of the people of the country from us. He said, B.R.O is not only bro to the security forces and not only bro to the people of the country, B.R.O is bro to the nation. Now, that is a huge statement to make coming up from Honorable Raksha Mantri. And we are living up to that expectation. In fact, we want to go beyond that. We are connecting all along the northern, not only northern borders, the western borders and the eastern borders. Our 18 projects are spread from Rajasthan to Punjab to Himachal to J&K to Ladakh to Uttarakhand to Sikkim and Northeast, all the states. So there's a very good integration and connect with the people of the country, and B.R.O is really bro to the nation, and we will live up to this expectation. As you said, what motivates us now? Earlier there was not much visibility. People didn't know about B.R.O. People didn't know about unsung heroes. So what in last 2.5 years I've been trying to do is to showcase the work what they're doing. We also make a lot of supreme sacrifices while doing this kind of difficult task. We lose our people, and that is quite sad because the work is so hazardous.
Right.
So we have to give, some kind of recognition to the work, and through that, as you're talking to me, this is also visibility when
Right.
you'll be airing this interview. We have been hugely succeeding in this initiative, and people today know what B.R.O is. In fact, where my headquarters is there, people didn't know this building, what it is used for.
Okay.
So when I came, I put in bold letters Border Road Organization. And today when they see on YouTube or any other social media Border Road Organization, those people also come to us and say, we are proud that we stay next to B.R.O. We have been doing that.
Right. A sense of pride and a sense of serving the nation.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. And thank you for talking to us today. And thank you. I think the viewers will be very delighted to hear many of the things that you've shared with us about the great work that you are doing and the service to the nation. Thank you, viewers, for watching this podcast. We will come back to you with more. Stay tuned to Hindustan Times.
Thank you.